Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Wild and Live, the show that brings you awesome animal facts with the help of some fabulous guests, conservationists, filmmakers, and biologists from around the world. Today, we don't have a guest. Well, I guess I'm your guest today. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my new series, which some of you have already seen, which is great. I had loads of messages, which I'm really happy about. Glad you're enjoying the show. It went out about 2 weeks ago for the first episode. Second episode went out last week. The final episode, which is on kids that are outnumbered. So we're going to be looking at olive ridley turtles, which I'm going to tell you about in a second. It goes out this Sunday at 8 p.m. on Sky Nature. So if you're Sky Nature, please tune in. If you don't, you can get it on Now TV and maybe even on Virgin. So what is Wild Animal Babies all about? So essentially, the show tells a story of, well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's all about wild animal babies. And we look at, yeah, these cute animal babies, but also how the way that they're born kind of plays into the strategy of how they end up surviving. So we start off with episode 1, which is about single kids, and we move on to animals that are born into like brothers or sisters, or like 2 to 3, and then we finish on the final episode, which goes out this Sunday, on kids that are outnumbered. So yeah, really great premise for a series. The thing for me that really stands out is not just the stories we tell about the babies, but also about the parents, about mum and dad, and how the different strategies and the different ways that they try their best to look after their offspring, or in some cases don't. So what is it all about? Well, I mean, I've given you a little rundown. Why don't we play a little promo so you guys can see it yourself? This is Wild Animal Babies.
Every day across the planet, animals are taking their first steps.
Hey.
They're all united by the same challenge: to make it beyond this most vulnerable time of their lives.
Ensuring the survival of the next generation is the only thing that counts.
Well, isn't that just lovely jabbly? Yeah, so that's the series. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Please do tune in. So today I'm going to be talking about 4 of the animals that we were filming. We're going to look at turtles. We're going to have a chat about, what else have we got on here? Kangaroos, maybe touch on puffins, maybe spotted hyena, and then end on elephants. If you have any questions, you see the chat box down there, pop them in there and I'll do my best to answer them as best I can. So one of the animals that or groups of animals that we went to film were olive ridley sea turtles, and for that we went all the way over to Costa Rica. Costa Rica, for anybody that hasn't been there, is stunning. It's beautiful. It's well known for its biodiversity. If you want to see animals, that is the place to go. It's a beautiful country. Lots of wild landscapes and habitats. We were there filming the series back in 2017. Gosh, so almost like 3 years ago now. So Costa Rica is in Central America, and the benefit of that country, of being in that location, is that it has coasts both on the Caribbean side, so on the Atlantic side, and also on the Pacific. And we were on the western side of the country in the Pacific, and yeah, we'd gone to this incredible black sand beach to film these olive ridley sea turtles. So what happens is that the parents, or the mums, come up to the beaches under the cover of darkness, and they dig these burrows, or they excavate a small burrow in the sand, and then that is where they then deposit their eggs. So they have clutches of about 100 eggs. This is each turtle, each female turtle, each mum is laying up to 100 eggs per clutch, and you can have thousands of these turtles come up onto the beaches. It's quite a sight to see. We didn't actually get to see that at the time. Like I said, we were there to see the turtles hatching. That's what we wanted to film. We're telling the stories of the little babies. So these clutches, hundreds of them, line the beach, but of course we can't see them. What's going off? That's my phone. There we go. silent. And so yeah, hundreds of these turtles are about to emerge, and so we get to the beach at the right time, and we start seeing. Actually, no. As soon as we got onto the beach, we saw these turtles emerging. Let me see if I can find a little clip for you. I've got one right here. And so yeah, it was interesting because there was a lot going on in terms of the story that we wanted to film. We were filming these beautiful hatchlings and seeing them crawl out to sea. But the thing is that they've probably got one of the hardest starts to life of all of nature's babies. And so that's because they spend about 4 days trying to climb out of the sand, and once they finally get to the surface of the sand, their instinct takes over and tells them to go towards the sea, downwards and towards the sea. That's where safety is. So it's about a 20 meter stretch from when they emerge from their from the nests. And you think, okay, that's cool, 20 meters, this tiny little hatchling, but go on, you can make it. Let's see what they look like when they come out. Let's have a look here.
Isn't that amazing? This is our first sighting of tiny little olive ridley sea turtles hatching out of their nests. So many of them. They've got to make their way all the way down into the sea. You can do it, guys. You're going the wrong way, mister.
Yeah, so as you can see, like just an incredible sight to see. But the only thing is, they're all storming this beach, but there is a predator on the loose. There are a number of different predators on the loose. The American black vulture. This is the American black vulture. Let's have a little look. Here we go. So there we have some of those American black vultures, and you can probably see what's at the base of their feet, discarded remnants of turtle eggs, and that's because the strategy that these turtles employ is that their parents lay these eggs and then they leave. So without the protection of their parents, the whole strategy is for these, or the tactic is for these turtles to emerge all at the same time and storm the beach. So their safety comes in numbers, and yeah, these American black vultures just pick these turtles off one by one. They are completely helpless. Oh gosh, literally even looking at it just makes my stomach go. I can't do it. Let's go back to me. There we go. But it's all part of the circle of life, right? Those vultures need to eat, and it's an easy meal for them. And the only way that these turtles are able to get past that is by safety in numbers. And so it gets to a point where these vultures are just too full. They can't eat anymore. And so then the rest of the turtles that are emerging can reach the beach. Actually, to try and help increase their chances, they will emerge at night as well, under the cover of darkness. That's one way that they can reach the sea safely. Up to only 5% of those turtles, in some cases, will reach the sea. So it's a really challenging time for those turtles. Really, like they're up against it from the beginning. The turtles weren't the only things that are up against it. Let's play this clip and take a look.
Rain, rain, go away. Let's think about Costa Rica, isn't it?
Not happy.
There you go. That was the crew. That was my director and some of the crew there. We were filming, and out of nowhere, this storm came in, and we thought it was going to last maybe like an hour or so. So you had this huge sheet of tarp over us to protect the gear, and it just kept on raining. It subsided for a bit. We finished what we needed to do, and then the storm came in. Turned out we had to leave. We could only spend, I think, 2 nights there, and then we had to leave. So yeah, really interesting time that we were literally only there for like 2 or 3 days, and then we had to leave. The roads were completely flooded. It was because of a hurricane that was coming into the Gulf of Mexico. So yeah, really challenging for us to film, but really rewarding getting to see these turtles make it finally out to sea. Here we go. There's a nice little picture of one that actually made it. So yeah, amazing little creatures there. Let's move on to one of the other animals that we filmed that took us all the way to Australia. Remember, if you are watching and you have some questions for me, please pop them into the question box so we can make this little thing a little bit interactive. So ask me some questions. Australia, the Australian outback, really tough, dry, arid landscape. The animals are even tougher, as we know, lots of venomous creatures. But the one that we were out to film was the red kangaroo, and to do that we went to the kangaroo sanctuary, and which is run by a chap called Brolga Barnes. He goes by the nickname of Kangaroo Dundee, and once we were there I totally understood why. He has a great relationship with these animals. He essentially looks after orphaned and abandoned kangaroos. So the thing that allows these kangaroos to survive is the fact that these mums, kangaroo mums, have pouches, something that we all know kangaroos have. But getting to see inside the pouch was, for me, like it really blew my mind. I've never seen anything like it. That is the lifeline for the joey. So how does it all begin? So yeah, the little baby kangaroo starts off the size of like a jelly bean. When it's born, it actually climbs up the outside of the mother's pouch and inside itself. It's just the size of a jelly bean. Really, really crazy, but incredible. And then once it's inside the pouch, it goes to the bottom where there is a teat, and it will latch its mouth onto the teat, and there it will suckle for the next 4 months. At the 6-month marker point, that's when the joey will come out of the pouch for the very first time and start exploring the world. And watching them was quite funny because the ones that had just started coming out of the pouch and exploring, they'd fall out head first, spook themselves, and then jump right in. And they come out head first and they go in head first. So then you end up seeing these 2 legs flailing up about at the top of the pouch. Really amazing to see. Their ability to hop is instinctive. So as soon as they come out, they start bouncing around. But the thing is, they haven't done that before. So they have to learn how to control this ability to jump. So the really young joeys are just really like all over the place. They hop from left to right. They're trying to go straight and they just go right, left, fall over. But that ability to jump is really important for them. It allows them to travel great distances really quickly. When they are, as a joey, each jump, let's have a look, they can travel 6 meters every second. So in 10 seconds, that's 60 meters. That's pretty fast for a young animal. And then by the time they're an adult, each stride will propel them about 8 meters. Now, for any of you that watched any of our earlier episodes, we were talking about cheetahs and how fast they run. Cheetahs will, each stride for a cheetah when it's at top speed is about 7 meters. So very similar to the kangaroo. Kangaroos can travel really fast. Yeah, it was amazing to watch them. The thing that we were also interested in was not only their ability to jump and hop, but also how they defend themselves. So kangaroos are seriously, seriously tough. That's one of the things I didn't realize until I went out to see Brolga Barnes at the kangaroo sanctuary. And one of the kangaroos was called Roger. Now, if you're at a computer screen right now, which you must be, either do it now or after. No, do it now. You can open up another tab and type in Roger the kangaroo. This kangaroo looks like the buffest, meanest kangaroo you've ever seen in your life. It looks like he's gone to the gym. And I say that and people are like, really? Type in Roger the kangaroo and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so their strategy is to the males are competing for resources and also for females as well. They want to pass on their genetic material to the next generation and have their own offspring. And they do that by these intense kicking and kickboxing matches. And not only will they try and gouge their opponent's eyes out and scratch them, they got really sharp claws. they will also stand on the back of, or use their tails, really powerful tails, as like a tripod, and they lean back on that tail, and their entire weight their tails can take their entire weight, which I found really, really remarkable, quite stunning to see. And then they'll just kick with those really powerful legs. If you really want to see that in action, make sure you tune into the series Sunday. Actually, wait, that was the single kid, so you'll have to catch that on demand. Really, just quite incredible seeing these kangaroos fighting. I was trying to use Brolga as a human shield. So yeah, only 1 in 5 kangaroos, or 1 in 5 joeys, will survive. So in order to try and help increase the odds of the offspring surviving, mum can have up to 3 joeys at any one time. So we know that she might have 1 outside of the pouch, 1 that's inside the pouch, and then potentially pregnant with another joey, which will then eventually go into that pouch when the resident one leaves. So hey, look, we're still connected. Fantastic. So yeah, it's the kangaroos were amazing. Let me see if I've got some pictures for you guys. Let's have a little look at this red kangaroos. I'm gonna find we do. Okay, let me go here. Oh no, that's not right. We don't want that. That's my director. Okay, you guys will love this. Let's take a look at the... Oh no, I can't. For some reason, it's not playing. You can't see that because it's not working. But take my word for it, super cute. I'll pop some images up onto my Instagram for you guys to see. One of the other animals that we filmed were puffins. Puffins are seabirds. They are, I mean, for most people, you'd be able to identify puffins with that. They kind of look like birds that are like in little suits, a bit like penguins, I suppose. They're part of the auk family. They've got these massive bills, bright and colourful. The thing about seabirds is that they are one of the most threatened birds, or they are the most threatened group of birds on the planet, and that's because not only are they prone to habitat loss and pollution, but they are also very sensitive when it comes to overfishing, because that is their food. So these adult puffins, mum and dad, will travel out to sea. It's a 50-mile round trip in some instances, so 25 kilometers out, and 50 kilometers in, 50 kilometers round trip. And they're making that trip because they're trying to collect as much fish as possible to feed their single chick. And their single chicks are called pufflings, the most adorable name you can think of for a little baby puffin. And the thing with the puffins is that they're up against this gauntlet. Or actually, their parents are to begin with. So their parents will spend about 6 weeks going back and forth trying to collect fish. On average, they collect about 10 individual fish. The world record, though, is about 80 fish, which I found completely mind-blowing, astounding. And the way they do that is that they wedge the fish between their tongue and their upper bill, which means that they can still open their mouth to catch more fish. The thing is, when they're coming back, they are, like I said, they're running this gauntlet, and it makes me think of Gladiators, if anybody remembers that show. And the gladiators, the deadly gladiators in this case, are gulls. We've got herring gulls and black-backed gulls. The black-backed gulls are super dangerous because they can actually take one of the adults. They'll happily take a chick. The herring gulls will just bombard the adults as they're coming, the adult puffins as they come back. The aim for the herring gulls is to try and get the puffins to drop their load of fish so that the herring gulls have an easy meal. Really not that pleasant for the puffins. But that's what the parents are doing. They are working themselves round the clock to try and protect their dear little puffins. To film that, we went onto the island of Skomer, which is a little island off the coast of Wales. Beautiful. For me, the thing that stood out about that location was the fact that the water is super, super crystal clear. It's incredible. They have dolphins, porpoises, seals, and then you've got all the different seabirds there as well. So genuinely a really beautiful wild place. And to go over to the island, because you have so many birds that nest on the ground, it's really important to make sure we don't bring any predators like rats or stowaways that jump onto the boat. So before we get on, everybody's packed their bags, and you get on and everybody makes sure that everything's closed, because you don't want any stowaways, because that would spell disaster for the birds that are nesting on the ground there. Really, just I didn't get to spend much time there actually, because we could only spend, I think it was a day. Again, rough seas and a storm was coming in, so we didn't get to spend much time. But certainly a really interesting experience for me, and I'd love to be able to go out to Skomer again in the future. Let's have a look. What time are we at? Oh, we're already at 20 minutes, so I'm going to race on. The final animal that I want to talk about were African elephants. I love African elephants. They can live up to about 70 years, and throughout that time, they're gaining a huge amount of knowledge. Mothers are pregnant for about 22 months, so that's almost 2 years they're carrying this baby, and then finally we have this little baby that's born, this little elephant calf. And for me, the thing that really just makes them both really adorable and kind of comical is the fact that they have to learn how to use their trunk. Something that I never really thought about, the fact that an elephant needs to learn how to use its trunk. And when you watch them, they've just got this trunk which kind of wiggles around like this. I describe it as like having this wiggly bit of spaghetti on the front of their faces. But yeah, it takes them a while to learn how to use that trunk. Excuse me. And that's because, there's so many different muscle fibers that they're having to try and control, up to 150,000 different muscle fibers. So they're constantly learning, not only about their environment and their surroundings, who are friends, who are foes, but also about their own bodies, how to use that trunk. Once they're an adult, that trunk will be strong enough to lift an entire tree trunk. I've seen elephants do this. It's really incredible. But then also super dexterous enough to hold a blade of grass between the two finger-like projections at the end of their trunks. So really dexterous, really incredible tool for them to survive. When the mothers will look after babies for about 8 years, and during that time, those calves, as they get older, stick really close to their mother's side. They're learning everything from where watering holes are, where fruiting trees are as well. There is an account of one herd of elephants that travels to this one particular fruiting tree. I think it's in the middle of this lodge. I think it's in Kenya, and they do this every single year when this tree fruits, and they arrive pretty much bang on time. The funny thing is that it is in the middle of this holiday safari lodge, so these elephants, this herd of elephants, are known to just walk through the front door. Sounds like I'm making this up. This is true. They walk through the front door, through the lobby, and then to this fruiting tree. And that's a testament to their incredible knowledge and just understanding when certain trees are going to fruit. So that was for me really amazing. We were filming at the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya. They had a whole bunch of orphans that we were filming. I want to see if I can find a way to play this video. It's not working at the moment, but I really want to find a little video for you guys to enjoy. Let's have a look. See if we can end with... Okay, let's end with this one. Okay. Let's go... Bear with me a second, guys, because I really want you guys to see this. Let's... okay, we're going to have to hash this up. Okay, so those are our turtles. Let's see if we can do this right now. There we go. So that is one of the herds of the elephants. These are all... See, I'm hiding behind the tree. Because even though I think they're about 4 or 5 years old. Look at that. Just brilliant. And let's have a look at some more images. I know that's those are the American black vultures that we were talking about earlier. Let's go to... Okay, this is a beautiful picture here of some baby elephants. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. Oh, isn't that just adorable? Really cute. And here's some images of the crew. This is us filming out in Kenya. Just Africa is one of my favorite places to film. Just stunning. Let's have a look at some of the more intimate shots that we got. Here we go. So that is my director Sana, and Pete Haynes, our cameraman. And yeah, just having the fortune and privilege to be able to be that close. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. You are going to love this. Take a look at this guy. Go away. Here we go. There we go. Let's start it from the beginning. So this is one of the smallest calves there, and because sometimes they get cold, they have these little blankets draped over them. Isn't that the most adorable thing you've ever seen in your life? I want to show you some more images, pictures before we end this episode. I know that is the turtle that you're seeing right there. Let's find a nice one for you guys. Here we go. That is Nick and Pete, our camera operators, and sound guy over there. Yeah, just what an amazing experience. I loved every moment of it. It was really, really quite a special moment to be able to tell the story of these elephants. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, cool. I think we're gonna call it a day right there. If I can come back to me, if it will. There we go. Close that. There we go. Gosh, a couple of technical hiccups there, but yeah, that was a little insight into what we filmed for Wild Animal Babies. The last episode goes out this week, Sunday at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. No, that's when this show goes out, at 8 p.m. So make sure you tune in Sky Nature. It's also available on Now TV. I think that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Next week we're going to have some more guests, so keep an eye on the video list, and I will see you next week, Monday at 11 a.m. It's going to be awesome. Let's end on this promo again, just so you guys can remind yourselves of what you got in store for Wild Animal Babies. I hope that you all enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Every day across the planet, animals are taking their first steps.
Hey.
They're all united by the same challenge: to make it beyond this most vulnerable time of their lives.
Ensuring the survival of the next generation is the only thing that counts.